My name is Corissa and I am a woman with many hats. I am a realtor, a real estate investor. I'm a holistic health practitioner. I am many things, and I'm just learning right now how to be a clinical research associate. So, a lot of things. I just completed the 21-day pelvis, legs, and feet program that was offered in June 2022. I had been doing block therapy for about 4 months before I started that program, and I knew when I saw Deanna offer this program that I had to jump on board and I had to be a participant in this program as well. So it was really cool for me to do the before and after shots, and even though for myself I didn't see much in the way of appearance and changes, what I felt after was pretty incredible. Prior to coming to block therapy, I had had 4 major abdominal surgeries from when I was 26 onward. And the last one that was pretty invasive was 2015. And in 2018, I had a major health crisis and nobody knew why. My medical doctors didn't know why. I met with holistic health practitioners and they didn't know why. I finally met up with a functional medicine team and decided to start clearing out some of the things that were going on in my gut. We found out that I had parasites and viruses and bacteria and all sorts of things, but we didn't know why. I do travel, so that was one of the things that maybe they thought I picked up things while I traveled. But we are mammals. We all pick up things in what we eat and how we walk barefoot and things like that. So we were just trying to rule things out. And while my health got a little bit better from 2018 to 2022, they weren't getting as good as I had wanted. My health wasn't getting as good as I'd wanted it to be. So last fall, my friend introduced me to block therapy and I kind of hummed and hawed about it. And I was like, yeah, I don't think so. Like, that doesn't seem very right for me. And then when I started digging deeper into why I might be feeling what I was feeling, then I realized that maybe it was abdominal adhesions from my surgeries that were causing my symptoms. And doing some research about adhesions and fascia and all those things led me right back to Deanna and right back to block therapy. So in January, I decided to jump on the bandwagon and I started with the sampler program. And within a week, I had felt tremendous results just with the sampler program. So for those of you who don't know what the sampler program is, it's an introduction to block therapy and you use a rolled up towel. And that was pretty incredible for me, just those first few sessions. And I decided to get the starter package with the 2 blocks, the Block Buddy and the Block Baby. And when I was finished the starter program, I knew that this was where I needed to be, that this was my next step in my healing journey. So what happened during those few short weeks of doing the sampler program and the starter program, I stopped reacting to certain foods. This is huge for me. You have to understand. I would eat something that I would normally have eaten throughout my entire life and I would break out in hives and rashes. I stopped reacting. My GI system was on a 7-day cycle. I was still eliminating every day, but my cycle was only pushing things through every 7 days. I was now down, after the starter program, I was down to 3 days. And that's huge. For those of you who understand how the gut works, that's huge. So when I saw that Deanna was offering the June program, the 21-day pelvis, legs, and feet, I knew just from listening to her and from doing my own research that our adhesions and our fascia works from the bottom up. We are like trees, and I felt like I had been a palm tree swaying in the wind instead of that steady oak tree. So I decided to go with a 21-day pelvis, legs, and feet. And I will tell you, after those 3 weeks, My elimination is now down to 18 to 24 hours instead of 3 days. And I feel better. My whole life I felt tilted and I was clumsy. I was always banging into things. And I feel sturdy and strong in my gait. My feet feel like they're gripping the ground instead of gliding around on the ground. I feel that I have more control over my body and how I move. Because of my one surgery, that I have a scar from hip to hip. I had my abdominal, I have very, very little belly fat because of the way the surgery was done, but my belly was hanging over top of that scar. It was like it was a folded piece of paper hanging over the scar. Well, now it's more flat, and my belly has now pulled back into my body instead of falling forward, which means that my lower back pain is almost gone, because the way my body, the adhesions were working was that they were pulling my whole belly forward, which meant my whole lower back was being pulled forward. Now my posture is almost straight. I still need to work on my shoulders and pulling my shoulders back a little bit more. I have a lot of work to do, but I feel like I'm in such a good direction now that I didn't have 6 months ago. So to me, block therapy is life-changing. And I would encourage anybody to do it. Start with the sampler program. What have you got to lose? It's very basic, very easy, and it gets you breathing the way we're supposed to be breathing, with our diaphragm and having full breaths and breathing with our belly. So we start there and then working through the starter program, and it's amazing what you will feel. I was so sick, and if I could feel so much better, then like my life has totally changed around. So I'm very, very thankful to block therapy, and thankful for Deanna and for Quinn for all the work that they do in getting this out to the world. We need to be sharing this more. That's how I feel. Before block therapy, I felt like I was always halfway intoxicated with alcohol or something, because I was always tipping. I was bumping into things, and so then now I feel strong. I feel in control of my body. It's so empowering. And in 2018, when my health took a really deep dive, I thought, oh my goodness, I still have half of my life to live. Is this the way I'm going to live my life? Something has to change, because I can't live like this. I can't. And so then working with the functional medicine team was amazing. Like, they helped to a certain degree, and then me going back through my research, and the word adhesion just popped out everywhere. And that was the clincher. And so then I started, like I said, my friend talked to me about it, and I was like, what is this? And then when I decided to listen and allow myself to go into the process, then block therapy was there for me. And it's been life-changing, totally life-changing for me. And the cherry on top of it all is I was away from my husband for 2 weeks. So the last week of the 21-day program and the week after the 21-day program. And when he saw me for the first time after those 2 weeks, he was like, oh my goodness, you're standing taller, and your legs look amazing, and your butt is firm and smooth. And I was like, well, this didn't show up in the pictures. But for him to notice these things, a man who hardly notices things, for him to notice that was just the affirmation that I needed, that I was on the right track. And because of that, I restarted the 21-day program again, because I know I have a lot of work yet to do. So I'm doing it all over again. And it's been incredible. I wake up every morning and feeling stronger than I did the day before. And there's nothing else that I can attribute to that except for block therapy. I'm not doing anything different. I haven't changed my diet. I haven't changed my exercise routine, which is simply walking and biking, walking with my dog, and taking bike rides with my husband on a very random and non-pushing basis. It's just, so it's been very good. And I am incredibly grateful, incredibly thankful to block therapy for my new life. And I'm just very excited for the future. And I'm excited to see the changes that will happen in the next 6 months. If my first 6 months with block therapy brought about this many changes, what are the next 6 months going to bring? I'm very excited to see that.